108. POE. Go a little something like this. Go a little something like this. What up, Miss Carol?
Rockin' with you at 7, 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 rockin' with you at 7. 7 seas, 7 wonders, 7 heaven. Wherever you are, turn to 108 praise at 7. I realized that I was great when I was 7. Given the secret weapon, praise where I was destined. Anointed with teaching lessons, hooked up with the oasis, fine-tuning the basics, spreading vision like LASIK, kicking it like some ASICs. Jesus the one that saves it, Holy Spirit amazing, like 108 gotta praise it. P and Carol, hot at the barrel, like P. Carol, sharper than the arrow, eyes on the sparrow. Got the legal beagle, helping people with all their legals. Watch the prequel, the sequel, and people that's all legal. #1 artist, playwright, and paralegal. That's the top leaders leading the league, so why you leaving? 108 praise, praising the gospel is where we be at. Essence, Stellar, and Trumpet, that's where we be at. How the show blazing the charts, so let's begin. Rockin' with you at 7, 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 rockin' with you at 7.
Hey, we on 108 Praise Radio. What's going on? We here. Yeah, that was a little delay. See, we do that sometimes to get a little bit of, flavor, on radio. A pause is not always bad. You got a moment of silence, a moment of grief. You got a smooth, quick pause for a delay. Might want to go, P-O-P-O-P-O-P-O-E, something like that. Anyway, welcome to 108 Praise Radio, Oasis Montage Talk Show. I'm Poetic. We got, usually we have Miss Carol and Lisa here, but today we got the Twice Twins in the building. Welcome, Twice Twins.
Thank you for having us.
There we go. Welcome to Oasis Montage Talk Show, the radio station that plays Voice in the Gospel. We voicing the gospel, y'all. Right here on 108 Praise. So glad to have you girls here. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
Man, I really love these girls. They are awesome and amazing always, hitting the world with the Twice impact.
Yes.
The Twice Twins. Yeah. Twice the fun.
Yeah, always.
Double the pleasure, like the Double Mint. Remember the Double Mint Twins back in the day?
Yeah, we did Twice Mint.
Yes. That's what they are. All that and then a bag of chips.
Yes.
So, Twice Twins. So last week we had a topic, very good topic. It was about sex trafficking. Mm-hmm. And we had a guest here, and she was actually a victim of sex trafficking, and she was only 16 years of age. Wow. And so we got her to talk about what it was like, what happened, and all of that stuff. And when you guys chimed in on the show, I was like, man, I wish we could get them to speak about it, because I remember them sharing something that was similar to that had happened to them. So I'm just saying, wow, this is, it's God.
Yes, it is.
But we have to use it for the benefit of Him when it happens. So just definitely wanted to touch on that a little bit, because that topic was intense, but it was kind of really too short just to talk about it in 1 hour, because we really didn't cover everything that we really wanted to cover. So we, excuse me 1 second here. Let's see if I can get this together here. I'm sorry, people.
It's okay.
Excuse me.
We understand.
I'm trying to get acclimated. I don't have a co-host in the building. See this? See this? You're not here. You're not here. He's barely here. No. They do it to me all the time, so they know me. They're used to this, thrown under the bus. That's what they get. So anyway, so yeah, something similar like that happened to you guys. So did you want to share how it happened and what was actually going on in you guys' lives when you experienced this tragic thing?
Sure. I guess she wants me to talk.
But Trix, you spoke first.
I know, but I'm saying, so I've been trying to give other people the opportunity.
Other people?
Yeah, like my sister.
I'll
okay. Talk when it's time, but it's time for you to talk. Well, yeah, of course, we were younger at the time when it happened. We were living in Tacoma, Washington.
Yes.
Right, close to Seattle, not too far from Seattle, and we were abducted, held hostage.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
held hostage by some gang members, and
you guys knew them.
Well,
we knew
of them.
Yeah, we knew one of the girls that was.
We knew the girls that were affiliated, but we didn't know the guys. And
okay.
So at that time, we were kind of naive to that. And so they held us hostage for some hours.
Yeah.
And we weren't able to leave. We weren't able to contact family members or anything. It just so happened that one of them had a fancy for me that I was able to convince him to release us at the time. Everyone else was still, held hostage, but we were, thank God, were able to
get away.
Yeah.
Wow. And that was pretty traumatic. And you guys were how old at the time?
We were about
15?
About 15 years
16.
old.
And that's around the time that shit happened to her.
Yeah.
And the statistics say that it's liable to happen to most teens between that age, between 15 and 18.
Yes,
it's something like 300,000 per year. So it's a $1 billion industry where people are making a lot of money off of it by selling. And this young lady was sold into it by her own mother. So I know you guys have a wonderful relationship with Mom.
Yeah.
And I know you couldn't imagine anything like that happening. That would be like
no, she probably would. She probably would go after the people that tried to take us. She did actually come by where we were and rescued us. Actually,
Okay.
Yeah, she did.
She rescued us
Her and our brother.
because they gave us so many minutes to get away because they knew that we probably wasn't going to be able to escape. So they were like, "We're going to give you so many minutes, and if you can't get away by this time, then
right.
Because it
you're
was
ours."
several, individuals that was a part of it, but it was just that one person that, like she said, fancied her. That was, he was cool enough to say, "Hey, if y'all want to go, you got an opportunity, you can go." And I was like, "Yes, sir."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Holla at you. Deuces.
1, 2, 3, go.
Time to go.
Yeah. We
that was scary.
Yeah, that was very scary for us. But he was gracious to do that, but he was doing it, against the will of the others. So he was like sneaking.
I got you.
It, in and like, okay, if you run now, then you can get away. But it was like, whew.
Wow.
Yeah, it was close.
And since then, how have you guys outtake on life, trusting people? How's that been?
Oh, trust factor is
Slim to none.
Paquito, very, very slim because you just never know.
You never
it could
know.
be an uncle, a brother, or anyone that will try to put you into the sex slavery because it's like you said, it's very lucrative for a lot of people, and you'll be surprised at who's in it, and who's actually paying for the women.
Yeah, and then you walk
Or
around,
boys, too.
and you walk around with that hurt and that unfinished business, so to speak, and then you get sparked with an inspiration from God, like the power of prayer and positivity.
Absolutely.
And you girls are some of the most positive people I know. I mean,
thank you.
every time I see you, you're smiling, you're cheerful, you're joying, you're dancing, you're doing something, singing, singing always. And I'd be like, wow, where did they find the energy? And then you guys invited me. I mean, we met, we had a great conversation. We started keeping up with one another. Then you invited me to come and perform at one of your events. That was the Power of Prayer and Positivity Symposium.
It's a tongue twister. I know.
I almost lost it.
Yeah.
But it was an amazing event because all the people that were there were about business and they were networking and they were about the cause. And I just met so many great people that day. And we had a great time performing and talking and joking and laughing and picture taking and holding up signs.
We did. We did a lot of pictures. We love pictures.
It was so much fun. So you guys, since you've released your book, what has happened for you guys?
Wow. It's opened up a lot of doors for us. Our book has, been released across the country.
Yes.
At this point. We start out like thinking that, okay, just only, in a small part of the world. But we had no idea that it would go overseas, international, Denmark, Switzerland, UK, Australia, Japan, China. So it was a miracle, actually, because we were, we had a small vision, like, we just going to start here. But it just spread like wildfire. So we're blessed. Wow. We're blessed.
That's amazing. You just never know when you step out there
in
faith.
Absolutely.
What's going to happen?
Exactly.
And this right here, I'm sure, like you said, it's just let you open so many doors and you've met so many people. Like even at the symposium, there was a missionary there saying that she was going back to Africa. So she had come over from Africa just to come to your symposium. And that was like, that was amazing. So, you know, like then, so in the book world, now you guys are authors. So what is that? Have you guys got a chance to meet new authors and have talk that talk like, oh, before I wrote my book talk, you know, now that I've got my book out.
Absolutely. We've met plenty of authors. I mean, so many people. I'm trying to keep the flow going. But you gotta keep the flow going.
I love it because she died. Go ahead.
But we have met so many authors, so many great people that are, you know, telling the stories of their lives and inspiring other people. So it's been a journey. It's been a great journey.
Yeah. And that's an amazing journey because you guys also have a radio show that I was a guest on at one time.
Yes, you were.
And that was pretty cool as well because, like I said, it was like I was like overwhelmed because I was like, these girls got so much energy. I wasn't ready. I can tell you right now, I wasn't ready. I was like, woo! But it was a great experience. And what happened with that? Are you guys still doing the show?
Yeah, we more podcasts now, so we still do it. We're syndicated, so we're on Google Play. We're on a lot of stuff.
Radio Public,
Spotify.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it was just a lot of. You have to look us up.
Make sure you tell everybody where they can get the book from. The book is called The Power of Prayer and Positivity. Right?
Yes.
And you can buy it on Instagram.
Instagram?
Oh. No, Amazon.
I thought Instagram.
Yeah. Instagram.
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram.
Amazon.
Yes.
And you can buy it on
Barnes and Noble. Books A Million.
Right.
Thrifty Books.
Okay.
Sanko. That's in Denmark. And Kindle.
Okay.
And Kindle.
And you guys have done book signings at those places already, or you have some upcoming, or
we have some upcoming. That we haven't really released the information on, but we have done a book signing, and we did it in Duluth, Georgia. But we have some upcoming for the next year. So we're getting our books together because we have 2 books now.
All right.
Right.
Yes.
And so you girls, y'all got. let me write this down because it's just too much to keep up with. Y'all got a book, radio show, blog.
Yes.
Now international. And you guys do film with TMZ.
Yes, we have.
How in the world did that happen?
Well, they found us. They actually found us. I guess, you know, just being out there and being ourselves and being authentic. Yeah. And just talking about what we talk about. You know, we're not the, you know, uptight, proper type of people. You know, we don't speak with our nose in the hair. We're just real and, you know, just give it to you like where you have it, you know. So I guess they noticed that and they were like, hey,
we want to get your opinion on this.
Yeah, we want to get your opinion. We like the way you guys, you know, you're just real and you just say whatever you want. You know, but we keep it positive.
Right.
We keep it positive.
Right.
Yeah, we try to find the good out of everything.
So what does that feel like to go from being the Twice Twins and being the Twice Twins that TMZ reached out to? And, like, what is y'all's conversation when they called? Like, are y'all screaming and hollering and yelling and screaming, or are y'all just like...
we like, hey! We're like buddies. I mean, it's like... You know, you build a relationship with someone, and it's like you know each other. I mean, and so it's nice. Yeah, it's good.
That's what's up. See, with grace, that's what it looks like to be believers, and you get something. You don't brag and boast and act crazy about it. We just keep it moving.
Let it do what it do.
Yeah, we don't like to brag.
That's what's up. The Twice Twins. Then. After all this stuff, let me put another check mark down here. Hold on. You also have written a second book, The Power of Prayer and Meditation.
Yes.
Prayer and positive.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So these books, what is your favorite part in this book?
Oh, Lord, I read this. All of it.
All of it? That's the short answer.
No, I like the affirmations, you know, even the affirmations, because not only do we want others to apply it to their lives, but we apply it to our own lives as well. Yes, so it's not something that we just tell, go do this, go do that. It's something that we do as well. You know, I have to say my affirmations, it brought me from, I was in a low place, and it brought me, you know, I had to level up.
Sure.
Yeah, so, level up. Yeah.
And this book is a guide to just being positive and staying in prayer.
Stand in prayer and keeping a connection with God.
Okay.
Mainly.
So when you're doing it, is it scriptural based, or is it just positive quotes mostly, or what is it, or your personal positive experiences mostly?
It has scripture. It has our positivity spin on it, and it has our foundation in which we have a relationship with God, and some of the experiences that we have encountered through life's journey.
Right.
We've had some serious ups and downs.
Oh yes.
So we wanted to translate that on a book that wasn't too thick, too lengthy, but just hit them and let people say, okay, I can open this book and I'm gonna feel good today because they went through this and I can get through this. Or if you've dealt with illness or a sick child, or just being persecuted for nothing,
right.
For something that you didn't do, or just keeping it positive, keeping
Absolutely.
it powerful and prayed up.
All right, so here we go.
Good answer. Good answer.
Here we go. Here we go. Here goes the question. Y'all ready for the question?
The question. Okay. What is it?
What has been y'all's most negative person that you were able to speak positivity into?
Oh, Jesus. Go ahead, sis.
See how she pass the ball.
That's what's good to have a teammate.
Oh. We have a vision board party.
All right.
Now we do vision board parties as well.
Okay.
Well, we've been doing them, but we started, open them up to public.
Okay.
And so we did a vision board party. And
a revision board.
Yes, and revision board. But because the first of the year, people like to do, say what they're going to do, their goals, and set that.
And things of that nature.
Yeah. So we had a couple of people that were just negative, like putting things on paper. We believe that you make it plain, you write it out, and you make it plain. And, some people are like, oh, this will never happen for me. So just as you can bless yourself, you can curse yourself.
Absolutely.
So, the tongue is powerful.
Right.
And so they were, putting things down and saying, I want to do this, but I don't know how I'm going to do it, But then a couple months later, I got a call from the one that was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can't do this. And she bought a new car. She spoke up. She's being more vocal. She's encouraging
being
people.
More positive.
I mean, she was an introvert. Now she's out there, telling people about the good news. And she's doing things. She bought a new car after 17 years.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's powerful. It is powerful. And we like to see people
and the
overcome.
Our vision board parties are different. I know you get, people that, they have the vision board parties, and you hear a lecture from someone that's already at the top of the game or whatever.
Right.
But ours, it's on common ground. It's people,
Yes.
And we're talking and we're all believing together collectively in God that he's going to, manifest this blessing, that, that this thing that we're trying to manifest has been, birthed through us, and that God has sent it to us, and that we believe in God for it, and we're going to work out the issues to get to the goal.
Right.
Get to the
and
goal.
you see my blessing. I pulled up in it. You see?
Oh,
me?
yeah.
Yes.
The
That was on
Mercedes.
that was right after
The Mercedes.
the Benzo. But yeah.
Mama say it's boy.
Hey.
Tell me what you wanna
do.
With me.
Yeah.
That's what we talking about.
I told you they lit now.
That's God.
It wasn't me.
But
It wasn't me.
but the thing is, a lot of times people, they see the end result. Oh, the happy part of they bought a new car, she got a house, but they don't know the struggle. The struggle is real, but the power, prayer, and positivity is real too.
Yes.
So,
See, our
through her,
church-
this
Yes.
woman, she's gone
Yes,
through
I've
a
seen
lot.
it.
She's gone through a lot.
A lot. Been in the valley.
She's been in the valley, but in the valley, there's a blessing in the valley.
Absolutely.
God is in the valley. So in her valley transition, God, let her drive up out of there with a nice,
Amen.
Yeah.
But it took how many years?
12.
12 years.
Work.
It ain't overnight. It's not an overnight thing.
Work.
But you got to stay.
It's a marathon.
Yeah,
It's not a sprint.
thank you.
It's not a sprint.
And
And you
have to stay
girls,
prayed
I'm
up.
talking about, we're just touching on the things that you do out front. Now, you still do other stuff that everybody don't know about, which is praise dance.
Yes,
Yeah.
praise dance. We won national.
Yes.
With KFC. Kentucky Fried Chicken. And we won national.
The Colonel has spoken.
Yeah, the Colonel gave us first prize.
Yes,
praise
yes.
dance. Yes, we do praise dance. Now, we started out hip hop dancers.
Uh-oh.
We wanted to dance around
and
the world.
we still love it. I mean, hey, we people.
Hold up. Hip hop dancing as in break dancing or hip
Oh,
hop?
no, child can spin.
We did some spinning. Well, but not now.
Pop pop locking.
Pop locking.
You know,
Oh, okay. You know that's what Mr. Was Positive did. So him and somebody else undisclosed supposed to be having a pop locking contest. So y'all might want to get in on that.
No, we don't want to challenge. We'll come and watch. We done those days.
It's some pop lockers out there from back in the day. You know,
that's awesome.
Saying, you know, back
Epic
then
days.
we had some real serious good times.
Yeah,
I mean, you could go to a house party. You didn't have to worry about somebody doing nothing crazy.
Right.
You didn't have to worry about everybody being drunk and being high.
Right.
Some people actually went there to dance.
Yeah.
And it was just a good
that's
time.
What we did. That's all,
you know?
Dance. We love
and
to dance.
now it's like these kids, the artists are leading the way by being drug addicts.
Right.
Then the only way you can party with us is if you're a drug addict.
Right. You don't fit
You're
in.
not fun
Yeah.
if you don't have none.
See,
And
we don't fit in.
Lo and behold, if you don't do syrup and Molly and all that other stuff
we don't
together.
know
You know
about
what that is.
So they got all dirty Sprite. They got everything you can name, and that's what they're
They
doing.
gave us a Mickey. We
Yeah.
don't even know what it is.
That's the norm nowadays. But
Wow.
you know, in the world of us being positive and inspirational, when you tell people, I don't smoke, I don't drink,
Yeah.
I don't do any of that stuff,
Yeah.
they'd be like, huh? What do you mean? What do you do?
Yeah, they think
You're
you're a
not one of
loser.
us.
Yeah, you're not hip. You're not cool.
Yeah,
And
the
you
in
find
crowd.
that in adulthood too, because you know I had a girlfriend. She was like, you don't know how to drink. I'm like,
Don't know how.
I
There's a
said,
way.
well, hey, I drink soda, I drink water. I may get a pina colada, but I ain't gonna get sloppy because it's just not my nature. It's just not.
Yeah,
what,
she was rolling them out. She was like, twice twins boring, but we are not boring. We are lots of fun.
Oh man, y'all was far
we
from
might
boring.
party like her kind of party. We do our own
We
party.
do the Holy Ghost.
Far from boring, you guys.
Thank you.
Far
Thank you.
from
I
that.
concur.
So yeah, we I think we're gonna take a short break here, and we're gonna get back to our topic. But we wanted to just talk about this Saturday. We have the Back to School Hosea Back to School event that's going on Saturday from 12 to 5, and we got a new guest host that's supposed to be showing up today, Miss Lila. She's on the way. Also, Kimberly, in my own words, her show, we want to shout them out because, they're part of the 108 Praise team. Of course, we love the Royalty Boys and what they're doing with their show. Always, them boys are always on point for the nation. The Breeley Show, all of this good stuff. But tune in. Stay tuned. Keep it locked. Keep it hot right here on 108 Praise. Share, like, let everybody know what we're doing and when we're doing it on the Oasis Montage Show right here on 108 Praise. Voicing the gospel. Yeah.
Hit it right, hit it right, hit it right. Okay, man, I'm about to get this flow in. Holy Ghost got me floating. Tryna find out what this all about. Man, I found bitches in my program. Them cinder blocks won't hold me down, cause them anchor weights have been broken. Them stigma in my 2020, but without my God, I can't focus. And I'm hoping everything that I live on in this life, it ain't vain. Don't really wanna be the root of that sin, so that we cultivate to that pain. Every day is a battle, and every day is a work I'm on me to get close to what God has in those promises. And I promise this, it won't hurt you. No weapons formed in the physical. Got a mind full of giants in the spiritual. Be an instrument that they can follow to. So when the curveballs pitch, I can follow through. And I'm off my square. Guess that paradise cease is a virtue. We take for granted those simple things. To be the simple things, we ain't cope with pains. Still I rise my Angelou. Been searching for the essence of some month's truth. Stare at the judge with my hands up high. Pledge to a legion, all my flesh will die. of the king, you win, cause he reigns. Looking at you, it's like looking at me. A reflection of how life used to be. Just keep using me for your purpose. Hit it like a porch of canvas, rock limit shit. Spoke to my friend, he said fuck to you. Like Shadrach, I've been fireproof. High lose my mind, if it wasn't for the book of wisdom that teaches me to walk toward the light, exposing that dark. Trust in God to keep perfect peace. Take a breather and let it soak on in. Sin was in the form of a woman, a relationship. Packed up my bags and walked out on it. Let it rain, 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 rain. And I can't keep falling and get back low. Just keep falling and get back up. I gotta let it rain. Yeah, and I can't keep falling and get back slow. Just keep falling and get back up. I gotta let it rain.
No, this rain can't hold me down. No, this rain can't hold me down. No, this rain can't hold me down. No, this rain can't hold me down.
It's the anti-thought movement. Woo, let's go.
We don't do that no more. That lifestyle, no go. We shut it down. Up in smoke. I'm a queen and you already know that we anti-thought, 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 your body is a temple, so why you so loose with it? Look at the way you be dressing, telling all the boys to come get it. Let me talk to you for a minute. Come and get this new teaching. I'm wondering, is it attention you seeking? That's why those photos you be leaking. Do you love yourself? If you do, why you do the things that you do? Like sleeping with men that you know they ain't gon' commit to you. Redundant cycle must be interrupted. It really ain't healthy for you. And you out here looking for love in all the wrong places too. Gotta stop it. Doing whatever, whenever, whoever, you know it ain't clever. We need to do better. Oh no, I can't let ya settle for less than that. Like we need to band real queens, take a stand.
All right, Arthur, you're up.
Paul and Silas was wrapped up in that Roman jail. Had nobody to go their bail. Silas said, you preach, and Paul said, I'll sing. And just about that hour, something happened. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour, when the Roman guards go to sleep, so I can talk to my heavenly Father up in heaven on the throne. He's the only one I know that can save and deliver my soul in the midnight hour. Yeah, in the midnight hour. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I like to be with friends, then again like to be alone, so I can talk to my heavenly Father. Say it again now, talk to my heavenly Father up in heaven on the throne. He's the only one I know that can save and deliver my soul in the midnight hour. Oh yeah, late in the midnight hour. Oh yeah, in the midnight hour. Oh yeah, late in the midnight hour. Yeah, in the midnight hour.
Your love is so amazing. Never would have made it if I didn't have you. Every day I need more and more of you. Let's go.
grow up, I won't be just like you, just like you. Put my hand on top the Bible, no more idols. Gave my life a second chance, and it's when I stop complaining and I count my blessings. Every time I look around me, all I see is his provision. So I ain't got no time to sit back doubting his existence. So let's stop pointing fingers and get back to kingdom business. Cause the truth is, who are we without the Lord's forgiveness? So now I keep holding on, I'll just keep holding on to you. Say, now I keep holding on, I'll just keep holding on to you. Your love is so amazing. Never, never would have made it if I didn't have you. Every day I need more and more of you. I won't let it go. 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 I'll never let it go.
This that courage under fire, dressed in victory attire, talking about battle scarred believers. My scars are my reminder. When I had to face rejection, fight through depression, had empty pockets, lived through recession, but he brought me out of my right mind. Faith in him was my lifeline, and that's real. A firm faith ain't based on how I feel, it's based on what I know, and my God is faithful. Blessings on free throw, new life with that word flow. Standing on it, no detours, no contrast, no contours.
Never gonna be the same, never gonna be the same. Giving honor to his name, honor to his name. Never gonna be the same, never gonna be the same. Giving honor to his name, honor to his name.
But your love is so amazing. Never, never would have made it if I didn't have you. Every day I need more and more of you. I won't let go. 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 I won't let go.
I'll never let go. I'll keep my eyes on the prize. Yes.
Your love is so amazing. Never, never would have made it if I didn't have you. Every day.
Welcome back to 108 Praise Radio. We voicing the gospel on Oasis Montage Talk Show. We got the twins in the building. What's up?
We are our own cheer squad.
Man,
We are
I'm telling you, it's always the off-camera talk that's the best talk. We get to talk about
Absolutely.
everything and let our hair down, kick back, and just all of that good stuff. But to update us, we had a great little conversation so far, so good, touching on the topic from last week with the abduction and how serious things are nowadays. Things have progressively gotten worse since President Trump has been elected. And, of course, you know I'm not a Trump follower or fan or friend. And so
Okay.
I don't support him in no way, form, or fashion. I don't even like talking about him because that puts him in somebody else's mind, and I don't want to do that either. So that is my take on that. But at the same time, seriously, we have had so many violent crimes to take place. This past week, a guy I think it was in Florida. Yeah, Florida. His wife and his son pulled up to a parking spot, which was a handicap. So they were wrong for parking the handicap. But she was still in the car. The son and the husband went inside the store to get whatever they were getting. And then someone ran inside the store to tell the husband that the mom was outside in an argument with a guy who was saying something about the parking spot. So he runs outside to see what's going on. And when he got outside, some words were exchanged, and he pushed the guy, and he fell to the ground. Well, when the guy fell to the ground, he reached for a gun, pulled it out, and shot the man in the chest.
Oh.
And the guy ended up going inside asking for help, and then he collapsed and died right in front of his 5-year-old son. And so it's like these senseless acts have been increasingly getting worse because our leadership is bad. So if you ever wanted an example of what happens under bad leadership, this is it. And another case happened this past week in Oakland, California. Our hearts go out to the family of the victims. It was a mother and daughter in the store, and something happened. I don't know if words were exchanged or what, but a guy stabbed both of them in the neck, and he slit the throat of the young lady, and she died. She called her father, and she was trying to tell him what happened, and he couldn't understand her, and she just died on the phone. And the mother is still in the hospital, from what I understand, receiving complications from that. So it's been an array of tragic, deadly things happening since this president has taken presidency. So what I miss about President Obama is that when something like this would happen, at least he would address it and try and reach out to the people and say, hey, this is not something that we want to be happening. But with the current president, he is just, so ridiculous. What do you guys think about our president and all these things that's been going on?
Well, for me, I just pray for the entire country.
Yes.
And that's just where I leave it at.
leadership.
In our leadership.
Yes.
Whoever God allows to lead this country, I know God is in control no matter what.
Amen.
So I don't look at anyone individually, or I just have to say, God, we are your people. Just I know you're in control, and I just leave it at that. We really don't deal with the political parts of life, because we know it's out of our control to a degree. A degree, but we know that God is in control. So we just put it in the hands of God. Whatever we can't control, we say, hey, that's yours, God. Yeah, help us out.
Well, yeah, we put out I put out a few questions this week, and I got some interesting answers from some people. One guy said, I said President Trump is, and then he said making America great again. And I said, you're being facetious, right? And he didn't respond. So he was, he was a guy that I've met at some point in time in life. And he was just, saying that making America great again. And I always have wanted to wonder, what are they referring to when they say making America great again? Because I've never known for America to be great. For me being a black male, growing up in America and experiencing my first form of racism by being harassed by the police when I was 19.
Yes.
And so since then, things have constantly happened on a downward spiral with that. I don't know a time where it's been great for black people. So I would love for someone to call in, chime in, type in, and tell us what they're talking about when they say making America great again, because we've been on a climb. As African Americans, I think in the last 20 years, we've made some of the greatest advances that we've ever made since we've been in this country. And that's technologically, that's as far as our jobs, that's as far as our opportunities, entrepreneurship, being able to do things that we never were able to do in this country. So I would say that the greatest of times would be between the 90s and now for us. But if there's a time that was greater, I would love to know when that time was.
But but if you look at it in a positive light.
Okay, all right.
And there's so many. It's a lot of negativity out there.
Yes.
And we could say a lot of negative things about any president that we have had, because none of them have truly been all the way straight.
Right.
All right, let's be real. But I think this is a time for us as a community, as not only Caucasian but black people, to recognize that we need to come together.
Absolutely.
We need to make things right between each other. We need to learn how to forgive in order to live and have an abundance of life, and to love each other, to love ourselves. Now, I was talking to my sister, and I said, if
is this your sister right here?
Yeah, that would be me. My sister here. I'm the only one
she
she got.
looks a little bit like you. How long have you guys been twins, by the way?
20 years. 20, 21
See, that was a trick question in case you didn't know.
20, 25.
Go ahead. I'm
But I just say, for myself, me being a woman with a disability, and a lot of times you don't see a lot of people talk about that, because it's not, their shoes that they're walking in. But in my shoes, I have to look in the mirror and say, do I like this person? Do I love this person? Would I hurt this person?
Right.
And if each individual, and I'm talking about my sisters and brothers out here,
Right.
would look in the mirror at themselves. What do you not like about yourself that you would hurt your brother in? Or that you would not want to see them successful or succeed, or that you would hate on them?
Right.
What is it, for real? So, I think right now it's a time God is bringing us together
Right.
in a situation where everyone doesn't agree with, whatever's going on in the political world, but it's time to come together and to really focus on loving and rebuilding and, and forgiving and just being a community of one on one accord.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just my take on it. A lot of people may not agree with it, but come on, y'all. Let's help each other out.
Yeah, let's not be divided. Let's get together.
Let's pull it together.
P-O-P-P.
Yeah, what they said, we are the word. We are the children.
Darling God.
The power of prayer and positivity lived out right here on the show.
We trying to bring it out.
That's what it is.
It's
it has
easy.
to be.
It's
And only Christ. I mean, we had another poll last week about what it is to be rich and what it is to be wealthy. The question was rich, but in my mind, I always think wealth.
Me too.
Because to me, wealth means more. But we had a few people to respond, and they said things like, well, if my family is there whenever I call on them, or if I have my camper and my fishing gear, my hunting gear, my house is paid for, my car is paid for. Okay, that's everybody's aspirations are to have things that they want. But I think ultimately, when you're talking about monetary, green cash money flow, it's to have enough money to where you spend it and it doesn't matter. When you buy,
Excess.
if I want to buy my sister a brand new Mercedes,
Back.
and then
She already off on
What you say now?
touched the funny bone right there, didn't it? And buy her a brand new Mercedes, and then be like, hey, this is a blessing to you. Boom.
I accept it.
Take
in the
it,
name of
receive
Jesus.
it.
I receive
And
it.
that's it. And it doesn't hurt my pocket where I'm saying, oh man, I bought her Mercedes and she didn't get me nothing. No, riches means, wealthy mean that you don't worry about money because you have enough coming in to secure everything that you need and then some. To me, that's riches. Okay, now that's the physical. That's the flesh part of it.
Right.
The God part about it is that when you trust in God and you know that He has all the wealth, all the money, everything that He wants, needs, desires, and what we could ever possibly want, He says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind can fathom what He has planned for those who love Him. That if we trust in Him, then He will make sure we have all that we need. Now, that trust goes with, if I walk down the street with not a dime in my pocket, I know that wherever I go, I'm going to have what I need. That's the wealth that I'm looking to have.
Yeah, that's deep.
The faith in God that will provide me with all the resources to wherever He has led me to be, because the Spirit of God won't lead you where the grace of God can't find you. And wherever we are, that grace can reach me and say, hey, here, let me buy you lunch. Hey, let me buy you dinner. Hey, let me make sure you got what you need. Boom, 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 boom. And that's the trust, the level of trust that He expects for us to have to Him. I think we only call on Him when we think we have to have Him or need Him because we've exhausted ourselves and
run ourselves down.
But whatever happened to, a friend taught me this, and I appreciate her so much. Shout out to Sylvia. There is always, you should pray before you get into something. Pray before you do what you're doing, not when you're in the midst of it. Oh, get me out of this. No.
Right.
Do you want me to get into this?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is it this is where you want me to go? And something might say, no, go this way. And you go right around that potential problem. Because a lot of times we find ourselves swimming, trying to get out of the water.
Yeah.
And then it's only because all of our plans or our decisions were our decisions. And it was none of what God wanted us to be doing.
And that's His permissive will. And that's what I remember when I was getting married many moons ago. But
let me tell you about that.
You're only 20, so it couldn't have been that long ago.
She was young, right? I got married too early.
Too early. But I remember my sister saying, did you pray about it? Did you ask God?
I pray about it.
And I was like, I don't
That's
have
the
time.
last thing you wanted to hear at that time.
I don't have
He's
time.
like,
You know,
"Get
the
out
clock
of
is
here.
ticking.
I'll
and,
pray about it now.
Yeah.
How about that? God.
The day of.
Yeah, we're about to do the ceremony. I can't ask the right now. You know,
Right.
and of course, I did think about that thing.
Right.
And of course, he said no. Of course, I kept walking.
Right.
And I walked down the aisle, the dreadful aisle. But you know, marriage is beautiful, and I love marriage. I would love to be married again. But I tell you, when his permissive will is, you have to deal with that. But when his will is,
Right.
it's a whole different walk in the
It's
park.
a whole nother.
Yeah, and so I learned now. I said, I want your will,
Yeah,
not
perfect
your
will.
permissive will, but the perfect will,
Mm-hmm.
because you can miss a boat. I mean, a yacht go by. Because you want to do what
Absolutely.
your flesh is saying, oh, I love this, I want to do this, I think this is the right thing to do. But he's saying, no, I have something better
Right.
for you, and we don't want to wait.
Not my will, but your will
Yes.
be done.
Not my will, Lord, not my will.
Yeah.
Please,
And,
not
and,
mine no more.
and that's like dissecting the Lord's Prayer. You know, it's so simple and basic that it just makes perfect sense. And that's what the Word of God usually sounds like. But it's all this confusion of the world that
Right.
makes
What you
it sound
see out there,
confusing.
you want to do what you see and see what you do.
Exactly.
But it don't work like that.
And it sounds so chaotic. And then when you hear the
Yeah.
Word of God, it sounds so simple. It's like, that can't be it. Because we be looking for this complexity sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes we just want to know, oh man, what's the real answer? That is the real answer.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. I'm showing you.
Seek and
Right.
you will find.
Yeah.
See,
Ask
yes.
and you will receive.
And you will hear. He will show you. Show enough.
And then sometimes you have to go into your secret place, you know, to really hear God, because you have so many distractions. I always say, tune out what the world is screaming and focus on what God is saying. I had a war room, a prayer room in my closet before I left that place. But in that war room, I could go in there, outright my scriptures and stick them on the wall, you know, and I could really hear from the Lord. No distraction, nothing, disturbing my peace. And I could hear from God, and I would do exactly what he wanted me to do, and things worked out perfect.
Right.
But every time when I didn't do it, what I was supposed to do,
Right.
it was too lazy to go up in that closet. Everything was a
Sometimes we get tired.
mess. Yeah, it was
even sometimes I have to say, okay, I'm gonna fall on my knees and pray, because I like to lay in the bed and pray. You know, 'cause that's
Get on the
comfortable.
knees. I'm
But,
telling you.
get on your knees and pray, because I mean,
that shows your humbleness.
yes, it does.
Well,
It
I
makes a
want to
difference.
touch on something with you girls, because God says, if you can't love me, the one whom you can't see, there's no way you can. I mean, if you can't love the one that you can see, there's no way you can love the one whom you can't see. So I know that for you girls, y'all are twins, been twins your whole life.
all long time.
Every time I see
25
y'all
years.
dressed just alike,
Yeah.
and y'all have a wonderful relationship, and you've always had a wonderful relationship. What is the meat of that? How do you guys sustain a wonderful relationship like what you have? Please tell us.
Well, we had to learn to appreciate one another, who we are, because we weren't always like this.
Okay.
I mean, we were never at odds, but during our dating and things of that nature,
Lord.
we didn't like, she didn't like my boyfriend, she didn't like, I didn't like hers, or vice versa. Why you
Right.
got along with her? But it would cause at odds with us, to where we would just not speak to each other,
Right.
or we would be fighting and arguing over
terrible
just
fights.
different things that was unnecessary. And then we got to a point where we realized, like, we hold each other accountable. We need one another.
Right.
I mean, and we appreciate one another. So, I have her best interest. She has my best interest. It's not a time that I can't go, and be stranded somewhere and not call her.
Right.
I know she's going to show up.
Right.
I know she's going to come, and so,
Same here.
so you have to learn to appreciate and know.
And like I said, evaluate yourself in the mirror.
Okay.
How would I want to be treated? This is my sister. What would I have her, do for me, or what would I do for her?
Right.
How would I do in this situation? And then the main thing, like she said, we had differences of opinion.
Right.
Those things, everybody got that.
Right.
But when I stepped back and looked at the God in her situation, because my sister, she's very loving, very forgiving. I'd be like, cut her stuff off, honey, cut them off. But and I cut people off because, it's God, it's a prophetic gift
Okay,
in me.
okay.
But, she sees the good in anybody. In anybody. That's why she's so approachable.
Right.
And we share that common in our prophetic gifts.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I have to learn to forgive no matter what. So
Amen.
she taught me that. She taught me forgiveness because I'd be like, sucker did something, stab me in the back. We're not going.
Right.
But I knew that I couldn't get to my father. When I went into prayer,
Amen.
I knew that I couldn't get closer to her because we were in differences of agreement that I wouldn't forgive, but she would. And I'm like, why are you forgiving people? But then I learned that forgiveness, it set me free.
Absolutely.
Because I would have that look on my face like, I see you, sucker. And they'd be like, that one mean right there. But then when they didn't bother me no more, I'd be like, hey, I could love them no matter what dirt or however they did us.
Right.
I could forgive. And boy, once that happened, God
yourself.
just set my life free. I'm happy.
That's what's up. And y'all have a working relationship.
Yeah.
You guys have another business together. You do, what is it, interior design.
Interior decorating.
You have a husband.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the most supportive, caring, loving people.
Oh, did you hear that?
And and you love him like a brother.
Yes, he's my
and
big
you
brother.
guys are always spending time together. And explain to that a little bit. Just touch on that a little bit, how that is.
Well, it's amazing because I remember when they first met, it was like I would hear them laughing at things that we normally laugh at. I'm like, what you laughing at? Sucker? Sucker? But I was like, okay.
Hold on, he tried to get into
I was like,
the
wait a
twin
minute.
thing.
We laugh together. Who you laughing at? They never make me feel like a third wheel.
Right.
I'm always with them. Not always, but I'm with them a lot.
Right.
And he always
Right.
include me. Like
He loved her.
He loves me like a sister. Like he treats me the best. Like I remember
Wow.
Christmas, he brought me some gifts, and she was like, she got better gifts than me. And then like Valentine's Day, when I was first divorced, Valentine's Day, when he came home from work, he brought me roses because that's one of my favorite days. Because it's all about love, and so he brought me roses, and I just felt like that was so special.
And that made me love him even more to see that he would have unconditional love for her.
Wow.
Because most times you date twins, you got problems.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like that one always in our business. This one, but with us, we've learned to cope with each other in a in a positive.
And I know
light.
when to back out of their space and give them space.
Right. And it's maturity.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it. Everybody can talk a good game about how they get along and who they get along with, but you guys are involved with one another every day in some way.
Pretty much.
And it's always good. And it's like that is the best representation of Christ that we really can have.
Oh, thank
You know,
We didn't realize that, but
because that's exemplifying the true nature of Christ-like mentality. And then it goes right into marriage, because as I was telling a young adult the other day, I said, you're going to have to show that person more grace than anyone else on the planet, because you see them every day. And y'all doing everything together, and you have to just be patient and be humble with that person. So if you guys can do this twice twins thing all the time and stay positive, marriage should be a walk in the park. Y'all hear that? Patrix is
then I
still
gotta find
single.
my walker.
Patrix is still single. She need her
I'm saying
a prayer warrior.
I have a ring on. I wear this ring. My sister gave me this ring.
Yeah,
she loves me. But until the right one come around.
Yeah, because this can't come off. it do remove.
Yeah. So tell everybody where to
put
find
me out
you
there
guys.
like that.
Absolutely.
Poetic, you just put me on out there.
Had to, because I want to see my sister more happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm embarrassed now.
Okay, you should be, honey.
Twice twins. Hey, so tell them where to find you guys with all your businesses, so that we can always. We already know about this book, but you have another book, The Power of Prayer and Meditation.
Yes,
and
The Power of Meditation, Prayer, and Positivity.
Okay, and then your business. How do they find your?
You can find us on Instagram, IG, Twitter, Facebook. Twice Twins, TWYCE, Twins, TWINS, or you can find us Blessed Trimmings, Interiors, and we're located in Grace. Okay, she gonna finish my sentence. That's what twins do.
Love it.
Or you can follow us on Talk to the Twin on IG or Twitter, and we also have a podcast that we do.
Okay, and that's on YouTube. Do you have a YouTube channel?
We have a YouTube channel as well.
And we need to get those numbers up. Come on, y'all.
We have Twice Twins TV. We have Talk to the Twins. Make sure you subscribe to those 2 channels. We do vlogs, and we also blog, and we also have a podcast. So we do a lot.
Big shout to Tanya Scott Rivera for joining in. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody that's on live, that's here watching and paying attention and listening. We're here with the Twice Twins, a wonderful group.
Thank you.
Sisters and sisters. Sister clique that's here in Atlanta, Georgia, doing everything from writing books to podcasts to radio show to television with TMZ to interior design and just inspiring people day to day. Like I said, exemplifying the love of Christ for one another and families, not to mention their kids.
Can I raise my hand? Can I raise my hand?
Yes.
Oh, and we want to make sure that everyone look out for our single that's dropping, a song that we wrote. I can't thank God enough. Our single will be dropping in Japan, man.
Single in Japan.
Next month.
Which, by the way, y'all were born in Japan, huh?
Yes, we were born in Japan. We're Japanese citizens as well as American. We have dual citizenship, so we could go home
and
if
do y'all
we want
speak
to.
Japanese?
No.
Ichini. Yeah, 1, 2. We ain't got the 3 yet.
Oh man, I know origato. I know what's the other one? I know a couple of words. I've watched Kill Bill a couple of times, you know, with the Hattori Hanzo sword and all that stuff. I love the Japanese culture. I mean, because I have a samurai sword collection, and I also have studied martial arts, and so I do a lot of studying with that. I'm a Bruce Lee avid fan.
You look like a martial artist.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, I'm scared of you.
Hey, maybe that's why they don't test me no more. No, but seriously, no. But voicing the gospel, we're voicing the gospel. No, but. Yeah, we want to get a shout to everybody, the praise team. Lisa, if you're listening, we love you. Absolutely, Miss Carol. Oh, Miss Carol is at the, what is it? The Women on the Rise. And she was selected as one of the people to get to maybe be the Woman on the Rise. So that's why she's not here with us today. Miss Carol, we love you always, of course. My super duper co-host, we run Oasis Montage magazine together, the talk show. We also do Shop Talk, Women Shop Talk While Real Men Wait. That's a stage play that we're taking all around the world. We've done it here and in Macon so far together. And we have a great partnership that we're expanding daily. So you guys keep up with us. You can always find me, of course, on One and Only Poetic at Gmail. That's the Gmail if you want to book me. Also, you can get me One and Only Poetic at IG and Twitter. So Shadid Swanson is the legal name. It's Shadid, like a good deed. Swanson on Facebook. And same as for my YouTube page to subscribe, or you just reach me through 108 Praise. That's the best way to catch me is through 108 Praise Radio, where we're voicing the gospel. Yes. So we want to thank the Twice Twins for stopping by. Thank you.
We enjoyed.
You guys always such a blessing to have. Please come back. We look forward to seeing you guys again, and we want to see what happens with that single.
Yeah. It's gonna blow up.
Keep us posted. And your next book signing, maybe we can come out and do a remote or something like that. And keep up with what you guys have going on. I, of course, am so appreciative. Look, y'all got my book signed. Bam, bam, bam. Get it signed. That's what you do. But here we are. 108 Praise. Thanks for having us. See you next time. Next week, 7 o'clock, we will be having surprise guests. Ooh. Y'all be ready.
We will.
108 Praise. Voicing the gospel. Hey, Courtney, you ain't get thrown under the bus today, so we...